How would you describe architecture in India?
Architecture in India, it's a very vague concept as of now. Earlier it used to be, because we used to have something called the vernacular architecture. But as of now, if I'm living in South India, I want something that is from outside South India. If I'm living in North India, I want something from South India. So we want, it's about trying to be different. This problem of trying to be different is a very egoistic attitude, very unclimatic per se as well, without rhyme or reason.
How would you describe
So-
bridging that gap?
You really can't bridge the gap, because point being, unless and until the ego factor is out of the context of a client, there is no way you can bridge a gap. A simple thing like landscape, let's say, forget about even architecture. Even if I'm trying to do a landscape, I want something which is, I want those plants and trees which are not out of, which are not of this place, or whichever place that I'm trying to be present and building. I want it either from London or Bangalore or South India or wherever I want, but it cannot be of the same place. Now, this is stupid. That's how we live right now in today's times. So I don't see any context of how relevant we are regarding architecture. First of all, we have the concept. I wouldn't even say the concept. We don't have an architecture today in India, and that is very tragic per se.
Could you describe how architecture used to be before compared to how it is today?
See, if you look at it, let's say even slightly earlier, architecture was, it's always the entire concept of architecture per se is related to a human being. We
Right.
build for men, we build for the humankind, basically, not men.
Right.
We build for the humankind. But unfortunately, today we don't build for the humankind. We only build to savor our vanities. It's mostly to impress everybody rather than live in them and experience the spaces. Per se, we don't have spaces. Today it's more about what material you would use. It's basically, in every context you want to impress. You want to have an Italian flooring so that people can think, oh wow, it's such a great house. Right? But there is nothing great about having an Italian flooring. It's dumb of people who think that having Italian flooring makes the house automatically wonderful. When nature has given you the materials you should be using, why should something come from Italy if you are living in India? It's too dumb and it's too vain. And then to call it architecture is absolutely stupid.
But do you not agree that people have distinct tastes and they can...
No, people are monkeys. People don't have any taste. There's nothing called taste.
So how should decor be in your opinion?
Why should there be any decor? Any person has been naturally gifted in whatever looks he or she has, right?
Right.
Now, why would you want to decorate a natural thing?
It's a tendency in a way.
It may be a tendency in a way, but it's vain in every way.
Right.
The problem with people today is it is about impressing and impressing, and then if you're trying and trying so hard to impress, then the truth is left far behind. The essence is never in the picture, and that's why we have so much of frustrations to everything. You see, we are more interested in the decoration rather than the what I would say, the plan of whatever building that you have. Because you see, at the end of the day, we are not looking at the plan. And the plan is what constitutes and brings people together. It's not the decoration that is going to bring people together. So this is something where we have left out far behind. And the images matter more, the selfies matter more rather than the self. So I think it is a very complicated way to live life, and so much of what you can say dissatisfaction comes from the way we live right now. That's what I think.
Could you share a few examples of some structures that draw out human consciousness in the way you're describing?
See, if you really look at it, if you see any structure in India, let's say 50 years back, 60 years back, they would build a door which is only 5 feet.
Right.
By 2.5 feet probably. And then you would have to bend and go through that gate. Or you would see staircases having 9 inches of a riser, or 12 feet of a riser if you go to the forts and everything.
Right.
So these people were not stupid. It's not that they didn't understand it's fine. They had more wood than you had, and today you may get the wood and the wood frames at 8 feet or 9 feet probably, but when it came to them, they could go up to 12 feet if that was the case, or even 15 feet or 20 feet. They had that kind of wood and all the materials they could have had. But yet they chose to build at 5 feet. And why? Do you think they are stupid?
Not at all.
Cannot be, right?
Yeah.
So something is there which made them build in those ways compared to us, the way we build at 8 feet. There is a reason we build at 8 feet, because it saves us labor and it saves us making another lintel and everything. That's fine. But essentially, if you look at the way they built, every transition of space was very important. Like if you see the door, it's a transitionary space. If you see the staircase, you're transiting from one place to another space, right? So they would focus at least, I'm saying at least, on those transitionary spaces to make it non-automatic for a human being.
Right.
Meaning, if a person has to climb those kind of steps at 9 inches, so naturally he will have to take care where he is putting his foot.
Right.
Or if he has to go through a door, he can't simply run around through that door.
Right.
Or go across through that door without thinking.
Right.
He has to stop everything for that brief moment, and then he has to cross that space. Now the idea basically always happens that you have to stop the mind. The problem is, today's architecture, we make it so automatic that the mind is continuously on. You are having your phone in your hand and you are just zooming in and out of 10 places.
Right.
I'd rather have this guy with a phone bang his head somewhere and he gets conscious of what he is doing. At least his basic movement from one place to another. I'll give you an example. Like if you see, agar aap kahin pe bhi jao, like if you see, you want to have tea, right?
Right.
You go to any restaurant or whatever, he will give you a ready-made tea.
Yes.
That will cost you something probably in today's times, 25 rupees, 30 rupees,
Right.
max, tops.
Right.
Right? Now you go to another restaurant where they will give you the milk separate, the tea separate, everything separate,
Right.
and you have to make your own tea.
Right.
That will cost you about 150 to 200 rupees.
Agreed.
right?
Yep.
Now, why should I make the effort of making tea and yet spend more money?
Yeah.
The idea is that simple quotient of drinking tea is broken into parts.
Right.
So luxury is always about breaking breaking an action into a lot of parts so that every moment can be enjoyed.
Right.
That is luxury. The problem today, we understand luxury is the more expensive things become, we connect it to luxury. That is stupid.
Right.
It doesn't work that way actually.